anyways. It's so funny. You said ready. I hit the button.
There we go.
Okay. Can you see me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is the screen telling me to swipe? I don't know, it just was showing me to swipe it. Hello. Look, it's telling me to do it again. What is it doing?
For filters, maybe?
Maybe, I guess. TikTok has some fun things to do. Thank you so much for the flower. Hello, everybody. My name is Rebecca Dragonheart, and I am a psychic medium. Here on my live, I do question and answers. So if you have some questions, you can go ahead and start now. It looks like, there's a few of you on. I do ask that you don't spam me, so ask your question. Give me a few minutes. If I haven't responded, feel free to ask again. And also, if you have an obscure username, please put your initials in with your username or your name in with the question. That's what I meant to say. We can start now.
All right. Our first question is from Nikki, and they ask, which of the two jobs do you see in my future?
So it looks like the second one is the one that you're going to be happiest at, honey, but it doesn't feel like it's forever. Okay. So this feels like it's just kind of a starting point for you, and it's opening up other opportunities. Okay. So just don't think just inside the box is what I'm hearing. It's going to give you different opportunities. Okay. So just be open. I feel like you'll be there for about 1.5 years.
Okay. All right. Our next question is from Manisha, who asks, am I pregnant? Thank you.
I feel like there's energy around you, but you maybe aren't yet pregnant, okay? It does feel like it's going to happen right away, though. So I can see the energy around you, and that's always indicative of you are getting pregnant right away. Oh, thank you so much for the flower, honey. All right?
All right. We did jump up quite a lot already.
Well, I mean, most people here know me, but hi, I'm Rebecca Dragonheart, psychic medium. Here on my live, you guys can ask questions. I ask that you don't spam me, okay? So just ask your question. Give me a few minutes. If I haven't responded, then you can ask again, okay? You guys can also find me on YouTube and Instagram. And since there's a lot of you on, I will let you know that I'm also publishing my first children's book, which is called The Little Light, A Soul's Journey. If you are interested in taking a look, I have done an interview on that, which you can find on my YouTube under community. And there's also a video pinned here on TikTok for you to tell you a little bit more about the book. But basically, it's about the soul before it comes here. So if it's something you'd be interested in, go check it out. All right?
All right.
I'm ready.
Manny asks, message for me from my spiritual guides?
Yes, Manny. Okay. So Manny, very creative is what I'm hearing. You need to start tapping into your creativity, okay? So they're showing me you have this very large capacity to think outside of things, all right? And so they want you using your creativity is what I'm hearing. It does look like something online that is going to help you be successful. So outside of the box, okay? No 9 to 5 for you is what I'm hearing. And they're really stressing that you're very creative, honey, and you just have to find where your creativity works the best for you, okay? Be really open because they've been giving you lots of signs, and I do hear lots of communication with numbers. So you're gonna wanna pay attention to what were you thinking, saying, or feeling just before you see a set of sequence of numbers, okay?
All right.
Yeah. Thank you, honey.
Our next question is from Camila, who asks, when will I meet the man I will marry or have kids with?
Mm-hmm. So I'm hearing it's not this year, but next year for you in the summer is what I hear. Okay, honey? And it's just because you have to make space. You have to be ready for this individual to come into your life. And right now, the way that things are, it feels like you don't have the availability for them, if that makes any sense. So it's like you just don't have the space for them in your life yet. So next year for you. All right. Thank you for the flowers, honey. Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Kat asks, what am I meant to do in this life? Any abilities?
So Kat, I hear that you are very empathic. So I would work in, well, first I want you to start really working with your gift, okay? I want you to realize something, that you are very accurate when you read people, okay? And so practicing that's going to help you expand into that aspect of yourself. What I'm hearing is you're a helper, and they keep showing me you doing some kind of nursing or working in an old age home or something to that effect, okay, honey? So I feel like that will be something that would be down your alley. You definitely would be very good at it because you're very empathetic, but you want to work on trusting the information that's coming to you, because you get a lot of divine information that you don't necessarily listen to or take seriously, is the best way to put it. Okay.
All right. Our next question is from Martita, who asks, will Brett and I reconnect?
So it looks like you and Brett definitely have unfinished energy here. So I do see that thank you so much, honey. There will be a reconciliation of sorts. It's not going to be full on back together, I hear. It just feels like more of a friendship happening from it. Okay, so you guys do have unfinished energy there, definitely, but I do feel that there's somebody else coming into your life that is more in alignment with where you're heading in your life. Okay. All right.
Shaz asks, will Jay reach out this month to fix things? Why are my manifestations coming in so slow?
Okay, so it feels like there's a lot of thick energy around you, and so when I see that, it's a little bit of resistance on your side. Okay, so what I want you to say to yourself is that you are fully open and receptive to what the universe is trying to give to you. Okay, because that's really it's resistance coming from you. What I hear with Jay is that don't sit around waiting is the energy that I get, that you have to unhook some of this stuff, because this is the anchors that are holding you back from those manifestations, honey. You're kind of in your own way when it comes to your manifestations coming in. So start going into deep meditation and clearing out things that are no longer serving you. You have a lot of work to do is what I'm seeing, and it's mostly in your emotional chakra. So it's leftover stuff from past relationships is what I'm hearing. So really get that stuff out and just work on it. You know, you can go on YouTube and there's lots of meditations that will help you just with your chakras. And I feel like for you, it's really your emotions have to be cleared out. Okay.
All right. Our next question comes from Nicole, who is our #1 gifter at the moment.
Thank you, Nicole.
And she asks, am I pregnant?
Yes, I heard that really loud and clear. So definitely, it's going to be a easy pregnancy, but take care of yourself, okay, honey? All right. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, honey.
Caitlin S. asks, will my financial situation get better soon?
Yeah, it's moving in the right direction is what I'm hearing. So you've had some struggles over the last couple of years, especially like it's just, they're showing me up and down, up and down, up and down. And what I'm hearing is this is kind of the last year of that, and going into next year and beyond. Oh, thank you so much, honey. It looks to me like your finances are really stabilizing and increasing. Okay, so something that you're doing now is really moving you in the right direction to have more abundance, financially speaking. Okay, so it's not this, oh, that's a cool one. It's not this year, but next year is where I see that stability and I see that increase for you, honey. Okay, so just be a little patient. Thank you so much for those gifts, honey. Those were so cute. All right.
All right. Our next question is from April Ann, who asks, good morning. Is there any messages from my mom or sister?
So your sister comes through really loud and clear. Your mom comes in and out. So it looks like she's visiting all over the place. I feel her energy's kind of dispersed a lot. Your sister comes in very supportive of you, honey, and I get the sense that it's like I'm supervising and I'm helping and I'm trying to guide her in a certain direction. Okay, so she's really being supportive, especially when it comes to your joy and happiness is what she's showing me. She likes to communicate through songs with you, so I want you to pay attention to the music that's playing, because that's what she says. There are certain songs that I pick just as messages for her. Okay, so you really want to start paying attention to that. You get a lot of numbers as well, but that's your spirit guides. It's not your loved ones. Okay, your mom comes in and out very sporadically. Your sister feels like she's there quite often, and I do hear that she does dream with you as well, so I would keep a record of your dreams when you dream about her, because those are usually messages from them. Okay. All right,
we really jumped up a lot.
Oh, yeah, we did. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Rebecca Dragonheart, and I am a psychic medium. I've been doing my work now since 1993. Here on my live, you can ask a question, and I will answer you. I ask that you don't spam me, because I do get pretty busy on these lives. So ask your question. Give me a few minutes. If I haven't responded, feel free to ask again. Also, if you have an obscure username, just put your initials or your first name in with your question. You can find me on YouTube and Instagram, and I'm also publishing my first children's book, which is called The Little Light, A Soul's Journey, and it's just what it sounds like. It's the journey of the soul from the other side to here before it comes into incarnation, and what that all looks like, so that we can kind of teach that to our children. Also, if you do want to book a private session with me, I do that as well. And you can do that through my website, www.rebeccadragonheart.com.
All right.
Mouthful, I know, eh?
All right. Our next question is from Jennifer, who says, I recently lost my fur baby. If I ask, will her spirit return to me in a new doggy?
Yes, you can actually ask for that, but I do feel your baby around you, honey. So I feel the energy there, and you don't have to worry about that. What I'm hearing is that you probably won't get that soul right away. It feels like you're going to get a different one, but it's going to be raised by this energy is what I'm hearing. Okay, honey? So that means that you'll see similarities in behavior because the next one is going to be raised by the previous one, if that makes any sense. So you're not going to miss them for very long is what I'm hearing. Okay. Aw, thank you so much. Okay.
All right. One moment here.
I know they move up really fast and you get a question saved and then it's like, darn it.
All right. Aaron from Sandy Hook says, should I sell my house? Anything on where I should move?
So it looks to me like you will be selling. It feels like within the next 6 months for you, honey. Okay. So it's not like today, but it's definitely soon. I'm getting the sense that you need to be moving. It feels like you're moving towards water and it's pretty far from where you are. So it's like a whole new uprooting and moving into a completely different environment. It feels more small towny. Okay. So if you're in a big city, I would think about moving into a smaller area just because for you need a different vibration. You've been opening up a lot, and what I'm hearing is that you just need you need to be by water for sure. So wherever you move, please make sure that you're close enough, like at least a 15-minute drive away from water. Okay. It's super important for you because water is going to help keep you anchored, I guess is the best word for it. Okay.
All right. Our next question is from Jen, who asks, is there any messages from my mom or grandma?
So they both actually come in pretty evenly. It feels like your grandma is really connected to you. There's others in the family, but she's really connected to you for some reason. And what I'm hearing is that the two of them have been really supporting you when it comes to family dynamics and relationships. Okay, so that's kind of been their focus for you, honey. So if you're having some difficulty with family or relationship wise, ask them to, give them permission, because that's really what they're there helping you anchor and deal with, is that type of stuff. And I do feel like they've been bringing some pretty strong people into your life that are going to help guide you over the next 10 years, they're saying. Okay, 10 years it is. So they're there to help you, honey. And your grandmother sends flowers, she sends birds and feathers as well, and she leaves coins for you. Your mom, it's a little bit more subtle. I do hear she makes a lot of noise though, and she tends to sit beside you a lot is what I hear with her. Okay, so the flowers that I'm hearing, it's like specifically it's like wildflowers is what she's showing me, so whatever that means. And look, flowers just showed up on my head. There you go.
All
right, yep.
Our next question is from Daria, who asks, is there a future with A?
Yeah, it does feel like there is, honey, but what I'm getting is that you got to take this in the time that it needs to be. Okay, so no trying to push things sooner and faster than the other person, because the other person doesn't feel as open and receptive as you are. Okay, so just give it some time, be patient, and do it in the right divine timing. Okay, so just give them the space they need so that this can work out for you guys. Okay, so not too much pressure. Okay,
right.
Thank you so much for the gifts, you guys.
Lauren D, who is a new gifter and our top third gifter.
Oh, thank you, honey.
Asks, is my brother watching me? Does he have anything to tell me?
Yeah, so I get the sense that he definitely, thank you, honey. It's a kidster type of energy, so very funny, likes to prank you a lot. So I'm getting the sense that it's like your phone will go off and then it'll just stop. So it's like you'll get these random ringings and there's nobody there, that kind of stuff, and just messing around with your technology is what I'm hearing. So that's his way of just validating, hey, I'm here. I want you to really pay attention to the people around you, because he's telling me the people around you, it's important that you are trusting your instinct and your intuition there, okay? Because a lot of times you're very accurate, but you're not necessarily acting on it. And he feels very protective that way about you. So there feels like maybe there's some people in your environment that aren't necessarily on your side or not necessarily in your best interest, and he feels very protective there, okay? So I get that sense from him that he's really protecting you, and he gets your attention by joking around. So, you know, sometimes they're like that. All right. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. Yeah.
Our next question is from Melina, who asks, is my connection with Nino over? Please.
I don't get that sense. Not at all. You know, it feels almost like there's a bit of a residue of contract here. So, you know, I call that a soul contract, where it feels unresolved or it's not finished. It looks like you're going to have to do some of the work inside of yourself though first, okay, honey? So give it some time. I feel like about 7 months from now, you guys are going to be able to sit down and have a conversation. I know that's a long time, but it's what's needed for both of you to be in the right space, okay? And just work on yourself right now. That's what I would focus on. All right. Thank you so much. I love this one. It's so pretty.
All right. Rachel asks, will I get the airline cabin crew job I applied for?
Yeah, I hear ya. Yeah, so please keep me posted. It definitely felt like, yes! It was excitement right here, and I saw explosions. So yeah, that's fun.
All right. Kyla asks, am I pregnant, and is this a good thing?
I do get the sense that you are, Kyla, and definitely, and this is going to be a very special little being. So, you know, make sure you're ready and prepared, because this one is coming in open, awake, and ready to go. Thank you for the gifts, you guys. All right.
Brianna asks, do I have any messages from my grandpa?
Yeah, so it's funny with him, I get, you know, he stands and stares outside. It's a strange thing he's showing me. Literally, it's like he's standing outside, like looking at the landscape. And sometimes they'll just show me certain things so that you can validate them. And then, you know, he's a watcher, so not in a creepy way. He watches over you, and he's protecting you, and just really, especially at night. So I don't know if I get the sense that you're open, and maybe there's a little bit of activity in your space, so he's there kind of keeping you safe from anything coming in that is unwanted. But he literally is showing me him standing on a porch looking out onto, like, it looks like land. So I don't know why that's significant, but he keeps showing that to me, so I'm gonna tell you. All right.
All right. Nitu asks, will I pass my NCLEX exam on the first try?
I get the sense it'll be the second try. Sorry, honey. Sorry, that's what I heard. So maybe the first one you'll just be a little nervous. Try doing some practice runs with it and some breathing techniques, because you feel like you're very anxious. Like I get that really tight energy up here. So if you can work through that energy, it's going to be okay. But you got to work through it. Thank you so much for the gifts, you guys. All right.
All right. Our next question is from Lisa Ray, who's one of our top gifters.
Oh, thank you, Lisa.
And she asks, any messages from my mom on my current relationship?
Oh, so that relationship, it looks like might be transitioning. Okay, honey, so just be prepared. I do get the sense that this was a good relationship for you to help you kind of open up, is what she's telling me. But she's not too sure that the match is 100%, okay? And that's the sense that I get. So that being said, what they think on the other side is not necessarily what you think for yourself, so we don't have to listen to them, right? But I do get the sense that she's like, this is an imperfect match. It's okay though. This is a match that was definitely meant for you to open up in a bigger way, and you've changed and grown and become something incredible because of this relationship. So I mean, you got to take what our family say on the other side with a grain of salt, right? As it's our life to live. But I do get that sense that she's not necessarily seeing this being the long-term person for you. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, you guys. All right.
All right. Katie asks, will I end up in a creative career feeling lost and dulled? Thank you.
So right now there's a lot of heavy energy around you, honey, but there's a lot going on. Like we're going into Mercury retrograde tomorrow. That is adorable. We have the eclipse energy. So there's a lot of shadow work that's happening right now for us. And it looks like for you, there's a lot of stuff that you're like ready to purge out of your system. And so that's why you're feeling this, like, I want to disconnect and hermit. And I just want to be me, and I don't want to have to do things the way everything else is being told to do, that kind of stuff, right? So this energy is just, it's kind of external, honey, and I want you to try and use that to channel something different. And I do feel for you it's going to be that creative outlet. You are definitely not going to be stuck in the mundaneness of life as it has been, is what I'm hearing. Okay, but you got to work on that energy. I'm seeing you doing writing as well. So if you aren't already journaling, oh, thank you guys. If you aren't already journaling or writing out things, start doing that, because it's going to help you just kind of purge this feeling. That feeling is really tough right now, and a lot of sensitive people who are very psychic and open are feeling the heaviness of it right now. Okay.
All right.
Those were great. Thank you so much, you guys.
All right. Flozano 112490 asks, will Perla be adopted by my family?
Yes, definitely. And it looks like there's a lot of light around it, so it's very divinely protected is what it feels like, okay? Oh my gosh. It's like the Borg. Yeah, I'm a Trekkie.
Mary Linda asks, will I get pregnant soon?
3 months, I hear. So, yes, that's very soon. I see energy around you that's ready to come into the world, honey. So get yourself ready. Physically speaking, eating better, and even taking like the vitamin supplements that you need to be ready, okay? So that your body's where it needs to be when it happens. Okay?
All right. One moment here.
I'll take this opportunity just to go through all my stuff here. So if you guys are looking to book a session with me, you can do so through my website, www.rebeccadragonheart.com. On there, you can also check out my children's book that I am releasing soon. It's on pre-order right now, so we're doing crowdfunding to get it out, so I can cover the cost of the artists and all that kind of stuff. It's a beautiful book, and if you do want to learn a little bit more about it, please check out my pinned video on my TikTok, and go to my YouTube where I, under community, where I have an interview with another medium who asked about the book and wanted to share that aspect of things. So if you're interested in knowing more, you can go over there and check that out. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Our next question is from Jaden, who asks, will I get into my majors program this upcoming year?
Yes. Yeah. It feels like there had been some resistance, but that's cleared away now, okay? So you definitely will, honey. All right.
All right. Tracy Jenkins asks, any message from my mom or dad? Thank you in advance.
So they both do come through in and out. They don't come through together. So it looks like when one's there, the other one's not there, for whatever reason, so they're in and out. I get the sense with your mom, she communicates a lot by sending animals to you, is what she's showing me. So she's sending birds, butterflies, she'll send you cats, she'll send you dogs, that kind of thing. So she's very animal oriented. That's just how they do things sometimes. And with your dad, it looks like he does numbers. So numbers are really important. I want you to pay attention to when you're talking about your dad or you're thinking about your dad, what numbers are coming up, so that you can look it up and see what did those numbers mean, because it's his way of communicating. He was very analytical or just very logical thinking, and so that's why he uses the numbers, is what I hear. Both of them very proud of you, honey. I'm going to tell you that. And they have, I love the corgi, he's my favorite. They've been watching over you since they have gone, okay, honey? So you're not alone. All right? Thank you so much, you guys.
All right. Taylor asks, when will the next baby be due? What gender?
So I get the sense that it's going to be next year for you, honey, and it does feel like it's going to be a little girl. Okay, so keep me posted. I love to hear those success stories.
All right. This person says, I'm Rebecca with 1C. I'm looking for a new home for over a month. When will I find the right one?
Oh, it sounds like 4 months still for you, honey. Sorry, I know it's kind of tough right now, and I'm hearing it really, the place is not ready for you yet, okay? So give it 4 months, but you will find your perfect space, okay? All right. I know that's tough. Wow, it's moving fast, eh?
Yes, sorry.
It's okay.
All right. Shannon asks, any guidance on future relationships/career?
So Shannon, it looks like what you're doing now career-wise is going to be changing over the next year, and it looks like you're going to be stepping into some territory of unknown, but don't be afraid to go there, because you're very capable of learning, and it's going to open a bunch of doors, is what I'm hearing. When it comes to relationships, it looks like you have some energy we have to clear. Okay. And so when I see that, it just means that you got to go in, get into a meditative state, see what relationships are still kind of holding you back. And I'm hearing opening up the heart chakra a little bit more, honey. You're very protective of yourself emotionally speaking, so you got to open up, or you're not going to be able to be the person that you want to be in the near future, if that makes any sense. Okay, so really work on that. Thank you so much, you guys. Yeah.
Cecilia asks, will my cat Nolan return?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to worry. I don't get the sense that they've been taken or hurt or anything like that. They're just out wandering is what I'm seeing. So definitely. Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey asks, will I conceive my rainbow baby next month?
Yes. Yeah. And please keep me posted because I love hearing it. I don't know if you're getting assistance there or what's happening, but I do see that it is definitely a success for next month for you, honey. Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. Drew asks, will my future spouse come into my life soon?
I heard August right away, so I'm going to tell you August, yes, so this summer. You got to be ready for it, though, so I would really get clear on what you're looking for in your partner, honey, okay? It really has to be clear. You can't be, because I'm seeing the energy goes back and forth, so sometimes you'll meet somebody and be like, oh, this person has so many of the things that I like, but they're missing something, right? So I want you to be really clear on what is it that you're looking for so that you can really attract that. But I do hear it's going to happen this summer, so yay.
All right. Janessa asks, will I get approved for the apartment?
Yeah, it feels positive, definitely. It looks like somebody's helping you out there, so it's going to happen for you. Yeah.
All right. Briannia asks, when will I get into a relationship?
So it looks like for you it's October, honey. I really like this one's cute. It feels like the October point for you because there's a lot, you feel busy, and it feels like there's a lot going on in your life that's not allowing you to have the opportunity to just get into a relationship and be relaxed. It feels really tense and really wound up. So work on maybe resting that energy a little bit, but I'm hearing October for you, honey. Okay.
All right.
I love that they're all different colors.
This one's sweet. Debbie says, Debbie asking, when will I be a grandma?
So it feels like 2024 for you, honey. So just be patient. It's not that far away. Honestly, it's going to be here soon. That is a cute way to ask for sure. All right.
All right. Could you actually just ask people not to spam?
Yeah, so if you guys can just ask your question, give me a few minutes. Please don't spam, okay? Because there's a lot of people on my lives. Just give it a few minutes. If I haven't responded, feel free to ask again, but just don't ask, okay? Thank you so much, guys.
All right. This next question is from our number one gifter, Duska, who asks, will I pass my blood test for weight loss surgery on June 1st, and is my grandfather here?
Yeah, honey, I get that sense. And you actually have 3 people with you. And your grandfather is one of them, but I also feel that there's another male energy and an aunt, it feels like an aunt or a great aunt with you as well. And they're all there with you, supporting you with a lot of what you've been purging, energetically speaking, okay? So you are definitely moving in the right direction, and I do see that it is going to be a positive outcome for you, honey, okay? Get ready, because life's going to be very different for you in the next couple of years. Oh, thank you so much, you guys. Love all the gifts are so cute. All right.
All right. Destiny asks, should I go into culinary school feeling lost about my career? And it's Justin, my person.
Yeah, Justin feels like definitely a great vibrational match for you, honey. And I do feel like culinary school will be something that it's going to be tough. It's not as easy as you think it's going to be, but it's definitely up your alley, okay? And I do get that sense that you're going to have an opportunity that is going to be presented to you before you're even finished graduating, okay? So it's a good space for you. Thank you so much, you guys. All right.
Mackenzie asks, I got married 2 weeks ago and was wondering if my angels in heaven were there.
Oh yeah, honey. And you know, it feels like there was a lot of people on the other side that were with you. Okay. So I just want you to know that space was full. It was so full, energetically speaking. And congratulations, by the way. This is definitely a step in the right direction. And I do get the sense that you have been kind of extra supported is the sense that I get. Okay, so be ready. The next couple of years for you are really your foundation years. I'm going to move you in the right direction. Okay. All right.
All right. Andrea asks, will I get another foster daughter soon? If so, when and how old?
Yes, I get that it's going to be a 4-year-old, and just let me hear. It feels like it's in the fall. Okay, so it's not yet, is what I'm hearing, but it is this year. Okay.
All right. Adrienne asks, will I have a kid and when?
I'm hearing 2024, so 2 years for you. Okay. It does feel like it's around this time in 2024. So, yeah. And I do get a sense you're going to have a couple, not just one. Okay.
All right. Vanessa asks, will my old boss ask me to come back? Sent me away with no explanation.
No, I don't get the sense that that's where you're meant to be, honey. And I do get that it's almost like a good thing, to be honest. It feels like there might have been some trouble with the place in itself, and it feels to me like this is a blessing in disguise. It's like when one door closes, many more are opening up for you. Okay, so don't be sitting around waiting, and don't try to get an explanation, because I don't feel like you're going to get one. It feels like there was some stuff going on. It almost feels like the business is like going under, or there's something happening with the business, and so it was like cut all ties now kind of thing is the energy I get. I see many doors opening up, many opportunities for you, honey. So as soon as you shift yourself away from there, you're going to see that happen. Okay. You know, I hear by September, you're going to be landing the perfect job for yourself. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Emily, who sent a lot of likes and asks, what year do you see me getting pregnant?
2023. I saw it right away. So it's next year for you, honey.
All right.
All right.
Leanne asks, do you see Scott and I getting married, please?
Yeah. Be patient, honey. Don't try to rush it. Okay. It has to be done in the right timing is what I'm hearing. So just be patient. You're ready. You're a little bit ahead of the energy. And I feel like it's partly because you can feel where things are heading. So just be ready and patient. He's a little slower than you. Don't tell him I said that. But wow. Thank you so much, you guys. All right.
Amanda N asks, is my son with me, and will I get pregnant again? Will we get a home soon?
So I do get the sense, yes, absolutely, that your energies, your son is around you, energetically speaking, and I do hear that by next year you're going to be pregnant again. So it's not happening this year, and mostly because we have to get your body balanced is what I'm hearing. Okay, so get to where you need to go. What was the other part of her question?
And will they find a home soon?
Yeah, 6 months I hear for the home. Okay, so get yourself balanced, honey, because there's like, medically speaking, you need to be more balanced. Okay.
All right. Our next question is from Carlos, who asks, will I find my passion soon? Excuse me. Will I find my passion soon? I feel lost as far as career-wise.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is, honey, you know, it's difficult because you have a lot of abilities. You have a lot of places you can go kind of thing. And it's really your creativity is where you want it, right? And unfortunately, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to cultivate that. So that's what I'm hearing for you. It feels like, don't get too disheartened, because it looks like you do have to do the 9 to 5, or I mean, it's not really 9 to 5, it feels more like shift work, but you have to do the grind for the next couple of years. And I do see you stepping into your creative self in 2024, but you have to do it slowly. So you have to have the basic job the way that things are right now until then. I would work on, I mean, it's your creativity, and they keep showing me music. So I don't know what the music's about, but they keep showing me music. So I'm just going to put that out there, whether it is you doing producing or you're actually making your own music or whatever it is, it's something to do with music. So look into that, but you have to get yourself there slowly. Okay. So it's not going to happen overnight. Okay.
All right. Tiffany asks, will I get pregnant this year, and are Phoebe and my grandpa with me? Or Phoebe?
Yeah, I do get that. You have a lot of people with you, actually. So you've had a few people cross over, and I do get this is going to happen September for you. Okay, honey? So just be prepared and ready. You have a lot of energies with you, which means that you are really capable of communicating with them if you wanted to. Okay, honey? That's really important that you are aware of that. Okay. Thank you so much for the gifts, you guys.
Darcy asks, when will I get my license?
I'm hearing 3 months or 3. So I'm going to go 3 months because it feels right. So we're in May, June, July, August. So summertime. That's what I'm hearing. So when I hear 3, sometimes it can be 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years, but I'm not getting that as 3 years. So I'm going 3 months for you.
All right. Diana asks, will I travel to Jordan in 2022?
I hear it's for next year. So whatever the resistance is, it feels like maybe it's not going to be easy to do so this year. So maybe wait until next year is what I'm hearing, to caution you that it might not be as easy this year to go as you're thinking. Okay. And I know that there's a lot of stuff with travel right now that's a little crazy. So maybe that's why. But next year, and I do get the sense that it's early in the year. So it doesn't feel like you're going at the end of next year. It feels more like, January, February, that kind of thing. Okay. All right.
All right.
Thanks for the gifts again, you guys. It's always so dry in here. And I know I talk a lot, but.
All right. Sorry, it's just going very fast.
I see that.
All right. Brian asks, who is around me?
So Brian, most of the energy that you're feeling is your guides, is what I'm hearing, okay? You do sometimes have an elderly woman with you who comes in and out of this space, but what I'm feeling is that what you're sensing is really your guides, okay? And I get that there are 2 women and a man with you that are your guides that are helping you in your life, okay? The elderly lady feels connected somehow to your space, not so much to you, but to wherever that area is, and that's why they are in there sometimes. It's not all the time, it's like periodically, but it feels almost like they wander that area, or they're in that area a lot. So it's nothing negative or heavy or bad or anything like that. It's just an energy that's around. If you don't like it around, you can clear it out, but it's harmless is what I hear. Okay.
All right. Jay asks, when will I get pregnant? And any messages from my mom?
Very proud of you is the first message I hear. I get the sense that your pregnancy is gonna happen early next year for you, and it's about timing. You gotta have the right birth date for the baby, kind of thing, is what I hear. Okay, and it does feel like maybe you gotta get yourself into the right physical state first. Okay, when it comes to your mom, honey, I feel like she's around a lot, very, very active around you, and so I want you to communicate with her a little bit more. I know you do communicate, and I get that from her, that she does hear you talk to her often, so she is hearing you, but she's in your space a lot, so she's very protective, a little overprotective sometimes with you, I get. Okay, but communicate with her because she's there to help you. Okay.
All right. Gina asks,
thank you so much, you guys.
Would my granddad be disappointed if I left college, and does he have any messages?
Not at all, honey. So he's talking about your finances. So whatever, it almost feels like he's trying to help you, guide you financially speaking. Okay. So he's not going to be disappointed in you, because that's just not something that he cares about anymore, kind of thing. What he does care about is that you are financially secure in your future, which doesn't necessarily mean college. Okay. And that's the message I get from him. It feels to me like you have opportunities that are coming up this year that are going to really drastically change your life in a positive. Okay. So don't stay just because you're afraid he's going to be upset with you, because he's not. He's definitely supportive of you. He just wants to make sure that you're stable. Okay. And so he's there to help you with that. Ask him to give you some assistance and guidance in that if you can. Okay. Yeah.
All right. And Tisha asks, is there any connection between me and Shay? If so, will we ever have a future together?
So I get the sense that yes, there is definitely a thing, energetically speaking. Now, that being said, one of you guys have to do something about it. That's literally the energy. It's like I'm too shy or too embarrassed or too something to step forward and make that connection stronger. So just do it. It's not going to be a bad thing. I just love this thing. It's so cute. I wonder if that's from the new show that we're watching. Right? And I also get the sense, honey, that this for you is like out of your comfort zone. And that's a good thing, because it's time for you to do things a little bit differently. Okay, so don't get too caught up on, well, they need to ask me, or I'm not comfortable asking. I feel like you got to step out of your comfort zone here if you want this to work and happen. Okay, thank you so much, you guys. All right.
Ricky asks, anything from my wife? Thank you.
Okay, so when I see the energy, it's very dancey, very singy, very light. There's a lot of light in this space. I feel her with you, like laying down with you, sitting beside you, constantly touching you. Very, very touchy-feely, okay? She shows me lilies, so I'm just going to say it. I don't know what the lilies mean, but that's just what she's showing me, and they're white. They're white lilies, so sometimes they'll just do that to show that it's them, okay? Honey, she is around you constantly and definitely looking out for you and definitely still trying to be connected, okay? So I do get that. Like, I'm touching you, I'm laying with you, I'm trying to let you know. Lots of dreaming with her is what I'm hearing. So I just want you to know that those are visitations. It's not necessarily just a dream, especially when you know that they've crossed over, okay? I'd keep a journal beside the bed so that you can remember the dreams, because I feel like there's a lot of significant messages there. And still so much in love, so much love around you, okay? All right.
Kayla asks, will I be moving to Florida? When do you see this happening?
So I'm hearing it will happen, but it doesn't feel for about 6 months, okay? So timing is everything. And it feels like that's when you're going to find everything falls into place, all right? So just be patient.
All right. Colleen asks, how does Pat feel about me? Will we reconcile?
So I heard no, sorry, honey. And really it's old energy, old momentum. You're moving in a different direction, and you've changed a lot over the last 8 months, they're telling me. So there's been a lot going on internally for you that you've been healing and recovering and moving in the right direction. I feel somebody else coming in, and I do hear that that person is going to be coming into your life this summer. So they're going to take that space from this other person. Sorry. I hope that you keep me posted on that, because I definitely like to hear that stuff. So, okay. Thank you so much for the hat.
All right. Amber asks, messages from my dad passed in 2012.
So been around you in and out. Again, this is somebody, he visits a lot of people as well. So it looks like there's a lot of energies that he's around. But he's there anytime that you really need him, and always when you're talking about him, and very when there's family stuff, I'm feeling him there. So he's like a big presence when the family comes together, when there's like dinners and things like that. What I get from him more than anything, honey, he's, he comes through as like this big papa bear, like I'm really protective of her, but really he's gentle. Like he's got this mean energy, but he's not really mean, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that's how he likes to present himself, but he's really just this big old teddy bear is the energy I get from him. And he's definitely very protective of you and wants to help you in your guidance career-wise more so than anything. So that's something I would ask him to assist you with, because it does feel like he's definitely a big part of that for you. Okay.
All right. Amanda asks, will I move to South Carolina out of New York?
So it doesn't feel like you're going right to South Carolina. It feels like maybe just before it. So wherever it is, it's close enough, but not right in South Carolina is what I'm hearing. So maybe on the border. Okay. And for whatever reason, that's where you need to go. Okay.
All right. Raina asks, will I buy my house this year?
Yeah, I hear that it's going to happen within 6 months. So, yes, there you go. Keep me posted. All right.
All right. Amanda F asks, any messages from my mom?
Yeah, Amanda, I get with your mom, she really communicates a lot through, so I'm seeing numbers, but I'm seeing songs, and she sends people to you. So what I mean by that is you'll be talking about something with somebody, sometimes even just a couple of days prior, doesn't have to be right in that moment. And then you'll overhear a conversation where it's almost answering the questions or the things you were discussing. Your mom says that she does that. So she sends people to say certain things that validate for you. So I want you to really work on paying attention to that, and numbers for her as well. So when you're talking about her, thinking about her, and you're seeing a sequence of numbers, I want you to write down what were you just talking about with your mom, or thinking about with your mom, and then what numbers came up, and then look it up, because that's her way of validating for you. Okay, honey? Okay.
All right. Patty asks, am I currently pregnant, and so will I find out this week?
I don't hear that you're pregnant yet, honey, but I do hear within the next 2 months for you, okay? So don't get sad if you don't hear that you're pregnant yet. I do feel like it's happening right away, okay? And it's going to be a successful, healthy, no problem type of situation for you, okay?
All right, we also have about 15 minutes left somehow.
15?
15, yes.
Oh. Okay. Goes by fast here, hey? All right, well, I'm going to just do my little spiel here for you guys then. If you do want to book a session with me, you can do so through my website, RebeccaDragonheart.com. It is first come, first serve, and I do hand book all of my appointments, so if you book now, I will book you in as soon as I'm done my live. Also, I do members lives, so if you don't get your questions answered here today, you can join my members live, and you're guaranteed to get your questions answered there. I only take a handful of people so that I can answer everybody's questions, okay? That is a monthly subscription. You can cancel at any time, and it's done over Zoom. You don't have to show your face if you're not comfortable doing so. I have a lot of people who just keep their camera off and just do it by audio. But if you do want to join that, that's a fun little place to be as well. And I'll do collective reads and things there as well. I'm also on YouTube and Instagram. And if you haven't heard already, I am publishing my first children's book called The Little Light, A Soul's Journey, sorry. If you want to know more about it, I have pinned a video about this story, and I also have done an interview, which you can find under community on my YouTube channel. All right? That's everything, right? I think I got it all.
Can we talk about readings?
Yeah, I started with readings.
Our next question here is from Layla, who asks, any messages from my mom?
So Layla, it feels like with your mom, so the energy I get with her, she's very like, I don't know how to put this, it's like really rigid and strict is the energy I get from her. And that's usually just their way of showing who they are so that you know that it's them, okay? And what I'm hearing is like with your mom, life was really serious or you didn't relax. And that's the sensation I get is like, you got to start relaxing. You got to start enjoying life. You got to start just moving in the direction of that. So the message I get is start relaxing, because it doesn't need to be this rigidness. I don't know why that's what I see with her. It's like this rigidness of the way that things used to be, and realizing it's actually, you know, supposed to be an enjoyable experience here, not this like strict rigidness. So relax. That's the biggest message I hear for you, honey. Thank you for the hat, guys. All right.
All right. Ashley asks, any messages from my guides, please? And is Andrew the one for me? Thank you.
So I get the sense with Andrew, no, that isn't the one for you. Definitely one that is going to be entertaining. I'm going to say that, okay? But not the one that you're meant to be with. Sorry, honey. I know that you have your heart set on it, but the next 2 years is when you're meeting your one. You have to move into a different frequency. There's a lot happening with you, and you're not the person that you're going to be in the next 2 years. So this isn't going to work out long term, basically, is the energy I get. Now, when it comes to your guides, honey, you're very clairaudient, which means you hear things. So you got to start working with that gift, okay? So when you're getting these like random thoughts, that's information from your guides. When you are, you know, they tell me you will just hear so much and ignore a lot of it. So I'd keep a journal with you. It's a little small pocketbook or something that you can just write these random thoughts, because when they come in, you sometimes think, oh, I'll remember that, and then you don't, you know, and that can be kind of a pain in the butt later when you're trying to recall stuff. So it's really important that you do, because you get a lot of divine information and they want you to work with it. That's why you get it, right? Okay.
All right. Natalia asks, am I going to be pregnant this year?
Yeah, I hear 8 months for you, okay, honey? So what are we? May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So the end of the year. Okay?
All right. Nikki asks, hey, what's the best way to start healing, or the healing side of my journey? Thanks.
So they're showing me you right away writing, honey. You got to write out, you know, they show me you as a thinker, which means that you're in your past, you're in your future, you're never in your now, right? And so to get out of that momentum, if you write down the stuff you've been through, you'll be able to clear it faster, okay? And you'll be able to purge it faster. When you're going to sleep at night, I want you to use that time 5 minutes before. Anybody can use this, and please do, because it's so effective. Our subconscious mind works on whatever we think about as we're going to sleep. So use that 5 minutes before you go to sleep to think about what it is you want to be thinking about all night long. So whether it is you're trying to manifest, a new home, or you're trying to manifest a new relationship, or you're trying to manifest health, or whatever it is, think about that before you go to sleep, because you overthink stuff. And you got to get that energy out of your head. So writing it down and then focusing your energy and attention just before you go to sleep on these positive changes is going to help you heal faster. Okay? Thank you so much for all the gifts, you guys. All right?
Thanks.
Yep.
Carolina asks, is Rudy the one, please?
Yes. I go yes. So yes. And literally feels like a party. So this is definitely an energy that's going to lift your spirits, is the best way to put it. Feels very happy, very upbeat. Okay, so it's definitely a person for you. Okay.
All right. Anna asks, any messages from my guides or my grandparents, and how do they communicate with me? Thank you.
Yeah, with your grandparents, I'm seeing birds, and I'm seeing two birds together. So whenever you're seeing the two birds together, it's like, it's us. This is us, okay? Definitely old school in the way that they communicate. So it's like feathers, coins, that kind of thing. I don't get the sense that they do anything weird or strange in your space. So they're very subtle when they're communicating with you. When it comes to your guides, they use numbers. Okay, so that it's kind of tricky. So basically if you see a sequence of numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, or you're seeing 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 11, 11, whatever it is, I want you to trace back. What was I just thinking, feeling, or saying in that moment? And I always say this, write it down and write the numbers that came up and look it up, because that is always our validation. Your guides communicate that way the most with you. Okay, so it's going to help you immensely if you understand what it is they're trying to say. And as you learn what those numbers mean for yourself through that communication with your guides, you won't have to record it anymore. You'll just know, oh, that's my guides telling me, yes, this is the right decision, or this is the right choice. Okay, they also poke you a lot, so you'll get like an itch in the ear, or you'll get an itch on your nose, or you'll get an itch on your toe, or that kind of thing. So they poke you a lot, so you really got to pay attention to that, especially if you're doing something that they're saying is not in your best alignment. You'll get a zap. Okay, so really pay attention to that. All right.
Jessie asks, do I have any gifts, and will I graduate finance?
Yeah, you're definitely going to graduate, honey. It feels like it's probably you'll do that for a little while, but it's not going to be your forever thing. Okay, so even though that's what you're taking, it's not, 10 years from now you're going to look back and be like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. They show me your hands. So I see light coming from your hands, which means you're a healer. I would learn Reiki if I were you. I don't know what area you're in, but if you just Google Reiki master in your area, you should be able to find a teacher that can teach you how to do it. And it's literally learning to move energy with your hands, okay, and healing the human body. That's what you are. You're a healer, honey. And so when I see that, it means you have to do something that has to do with healing. And they show me you working with animals. So I don't know if you volunteer or if you can volunteer, but if you can, go and do that, because I do see that that'll be a good way for you to have that healing aspect of your life, okay? So that you don't get bored doing other work. All right.
Kateri asks, any messages from my guides? When will I get pregnant, and will I have twins?
I don't hear twins. Not for your first one anyways. I hear that you're going to have a boy, and it feels like later this year you're going to get pregnant. So it's next year you're going to have the baby. Okay. What was the other part of the question?
And it was messages from my guides.
From our guides. I heard it just as you were about to say it. So it's all right. When it comes to the messages, honey, it looks like you've been doing a lot of clearing energetically, and this last 2 years has been some tough stuff energetically for you. So I want you to hear their messages. This was kind of your test period, okay, and you're moving into a new alignment, so things are going to get easier, not harder, okay? So I want you to really embrace that. Things are meant to get easier for you, not harder, okay? So that's going to be your new mantra. Things are meant to get easier. Things are meant to get easier. So that's what you're bringing into yourself. And I do hear for you, 2024 is a really good year, and it looks like you're building up to it, okay? So these next 2 years are really foundation years where you're figuring things out, and you've been working on yourself, and you're going to continue to do that. But it's definitely big changes coming for you, honey. Positive big changes. I'm going to say it like that. All right.
Lindsay asks, what are my spiritual gifts, and how can I develop them?
So Lindsay, they show me your heart chakra, which just means that you're very emotionally open. I'm going to say this: get control of how you react and feel. I do hear that you're empathic. You're an empath that is very sensitive, and the kind of sensitivity that you have is, there's two types of empaths. You're either one that cries at everything, or you're one that gets really mad at everything, and you feel like one that cries at everything. Okay, so you're gonna want to work on being too open and receptive. Now, you can still be open and receptive, just don't keep that energy in your system. Okay, so really working on how to clear that out. Being an empath is one of the most powerful gifts, powerful psychic abilities that a person can have, and you are right when you feel things about people. So they show me you're a good listener, you're somebody who has the right advice, you do well being a counselor or something like that. That is definitely in your vibrational energy. So it's definitely something that I would look into doing if you can, taking a counseling course or whatever. But I just see you being a very good healer in that way. Okay, so your gift is really your ability to help others. Just don't keep the energy. Okay, and that's the message that I get for you. So you'll learn how to clear that out. There's lots of techniques that you can use that will help you with that. And I have a bath every day, and that helps me clear the energy from the day. And then I would recommend that for you definitely. It's a bath or a shower, wash away the energy of the day, because it is vital for you. Okay.
All right. Juanita asks, will me and Julian ever talk again?
Yeah, it does feel like there is going to be some communication, but I'm going to say this, just be very cautious when you're doing so. And it feels like you need to be guarded with this energy. Okay, honey? So it's not always presenting the way that it is. So what I mean by that is like how the person is responding with you is maybe there's some secrets being kept in the background. This isn't your person. Okay. And I do feel like in 5 months for you, you're going to have your partner coming into your life that's going to be your match. Okay. So just be patient for that, and don't get too caught up in this old momentum, because that's not who you are anymore. And you guys are not the same alignment anymore. Okay.
All right. Madison asks, will I ever be a mom, and any messages from my uncle? Thanks so much.
Yeah, I definitely hear that you're going to actually have 2 in your life. So you are going to be a mom, honey. It is going to happen. Just be patient. The message I get with your uncle comes in and out. So it looks like there's a lot of people in the family or a lot of friends that he has around him that he spends a lot of time in and out. And I get the sense that when you're in trouble, that's when you have your team with you. That's when you have your family with you. And there's a lot of them that just come in and they're like, we're going to help her here. She needs some help. He's not really a big part of that unless you need it. Okay. So I just want you to be aware of that. So he's not standing in the room with you and not trying to get your attention every day, that type of thing. It's like literally only when you need it. And you're a pretty strong, independent individual. So he only comes in periodically. What I can say is when you have felt him, it is him. So I don't want you to doubt that. Okay. And he tells me that he has given you signs that he's around. He makes a lot of noise. And that's one of the things that he does. So he'll knock, I hear him, opening and closing doors. I hear him walking. I hear a lot of noise in this space, but he's not there all the time. So I just want you to be aware of that. Okay.
All right. Megan asks, any messages from my grandma, and is Neil the one for me?
It's definitely a good vibrational match, but I don't feel like this is your forever person. Okay, honey? So it's not that it couldn't be long-term, but it doesn't feel like this is your forever person. Okay. I'm just going to say it like that. I do get the sense that you guys have a lot to learn from each other and that there is growth to happen. Now, the sense that I get with you is you have, your family's with you as it is. You have the ability to communicate, and I do feel like you do communicate with them. And I want you to just pay attention to who it is when you feel the presence, because that's what they're telling me is like sometimes you think it's a certain person and it's actually somebody else in your family who's crossed over. Okay, so I want you to ask when you get that sensation, is this person in my room? And I don't know, she showed me yellow, so yellow is important. I'm just gonna say that. So for whatever reason, yellow is important. Yellow is a very joyful color, so it's really about bringing joy to your life. But I do want you to check in when you feel somebody in your space. Who is it? Ask yourself, who is it? And the first person that comes to your mind, that's who it is in your space. It's not always her. Okay. And that's something that you need to know. So you got to really check in first. It doesn't feel like anything negative ever comes into your space. So it's always family is what it feels like. But I want you to check in. She's very joyous, and what she brings to you is happiness and joy. And that's what she really wants for you. And so that's kind of where she puts her focus. Okay. So when you're in a place where you're unhappy, it feels like she comes in and just pours this like joy and love and happiness on you. Okay, so just be really receptive to her that way. All right.
Cayman asks, does Granny have anything to say to me, and will me and Shikwan have a future together?
So, yeah, you will. And I want you to understand something with your grandmother comes in. It's almost like I want to help you figure this out. I want to help you figure out relationships specifically, okay? She feels very motherly, not grandmotherly. So I don't know if she raised you or what it is that is about her energy that she feels so much like that, but that's how she feels. It's almost like I just want to hug you and hold you and embrace you and help you and guide you in the right direction. So she's definitely trying to help you relationship wise, especially, okay? So family is important, and she wants that to be ingrained in you energetically. So she's really about the family, and it's really important that you keep those ties, honey, okay? And I know that can be sometimes difficult if family isn't really receptive the way that you want them to be, but I get that sense from her that she's like, family's important. So whether it is you build your own family, your own new family, or building those ties up with the rest of the family, that's really the sense I get from her, okay?
All right, this will probably be our last question.
Our last question, okay. If you don't panic, guys, I'll be back on. If you do want to book a reading with me, you can do so through my website, www.rebeccadragonheart.com. Please go check out my children's book and my interview, because honestly, it's like the best. I'm so happy and proud and excited to share this with the world. And find me on YouTube, find me on Instagram, and okay. And I'll be back on again in a couple of days, so you don't have to worry. All right?
All right.
Thank you. It was out of range, right? I feel like that's what it is.
All right. Our last question is from Tanya, who asks, am I becoming a mom this year?
Yes, Tanya. Definitely. I'm going to tell you, eat healthier, okay? Really put fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, that type of thing, okay? Get your body ready so that you can carry without any issues is what I'm hearing. And I hear by the summertime you'll be pregnant. So keep me posted, okay? Thank you so much for joining, guys. And I will be back on again in a couple of days, okay? Bye.